Seriously, try to name me one thing that is more comforting than a huge bowl of chicken noodle soup. This homemade version is extremely simple to make. You're going to get so much from it, and we're going to use every single thing to make sure it's absolutely delicious. I like to make a huge batch of this. One, because it freezes super well, and also it's one of those recipes that you put the big old pot on the cooktop and you graze on it all day long. Now, before I start into it, if you already have one of those rotisserie chickens or maybe even some cooked off chicken anywhere and you want to use it, maybe you've got a little stock too, perfect. You can skip this next part and go right to the cutting vegetables. But for now, we're gonna prep up and make a very quick chicken stock. Sound good? Let's cook. I've got a couple of whole chickens that I'm gonna use in this stock. Maybe you only have one, that's totally fine. I like to do it in big batches so that I can freeze it for later and pull it out as I need it. Just place those chickens right into a very large pot. I'm guessing probably the biggest one that you have in your cabinet. Go over to the cooktop. We are going to fill it up with water, and a good rule of thumb is to be about 4 inches of water over where the top of the chicken is. We're going to cook it on medium heat. It's going to take in between 60 and 80 minutes for it to completely cook. And let me just stop and say, this is an awesome way to pull as much flavor as possible if you don't have a proper stock to use. It is delicious. One, it cooks the chicken, and two, you've got a nice tasty stock with all that fat from the skin. It's going to be really delicious. Also, if you don't have whole chickens, which I definitely recommend using because you can do things like this, maybe you've got some chicken parts, some thighs, some drums, some wings, some legs, even some breasts, whatever you have, you can use it. What we're going to do now is slice up our vegetables. This is great timing while the chicken is cooking. I've got a bunch of carrots here. We're going to start by peeling them up, and then we're going to slice them. And when I slice them, I'm going to do it thick because this soup is going to last a long time. The thicker they are, the bigger sort of the piece and cut is, the less chance they are to get mushy when it's cooked and frozen over time. Add it to a bowl. I'm going to cut the exact same way with the celery, and the same thing applies again, bigger cuts. Just think, if you're cooking things for a long period of time and the cut is really small, it's going to get mushy even quicker. I'm only going to add just a little bit of onion in here because, well, my wife and my daughter don't like it that much, although I do, and they can't stand that. We're just going to set it right into that bowl with the other vegetables. Then I'm going to press a few garlic cloves through, or you can finely mince it, totally up to you. Be sure to get every last little morsel. We're taking it over to our cooktop. I've got a separate large rondeau pot. If you have a bigger pot, totally fine. I'm going to add in just about a tablespoon of olive oil. If you have another oil that you'd like, totally fine. Add in the vegetables, and then we're going to cook them on low heat for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. All we're looking to do is sweat the vegetables. We do not want to caramelize them. We still want them to be a little bit crunchy, but we want to pull some of the flavors. It is going to smell insanely delicious in here. Set it to the side at this point, and then take some more time, or if your chicken is done, let's go over, and what we're going to do now is skim the scum. All those sort of impurities that have floated to the top while cooking your chicken, grab a ladle, scoop some of those out, and discard it. No reason to keep it around. Next, grab your tongs and then pull out your chicken. Be careful because the stock is hot and it's gonna wanna go everywhere. Place it on a sheet tray or a very large platter. We're going over to our cutting board. Just gonna set it down because I want it to cool down a little bit before I start to pull it. Let's move that big old pot of that leftover chicken stock to a different burner, and I'm going to add in those sweated vegetables. It is really starting to smell fantastic in here. You'll notice it immediately. Scrape all of that goodness out of that rondeau pot. You don't want to lose any chance for flavor into this soup. Give it a few stirs, totally fine. Keep it on low heat. Go back over to where those chickens are, and now we're going to start pulling it. Take the skin off, and usually what I like to do is set the skin on a separate plate because there's no really need for that, and then pull the chicken using some gloves, using your hands. If it's not cool enough, no worries, just wait till it's completely cooled down, and then take that chicken bone and simply set it to the side on a plate. And here's why I'm doing that. We only cook that chicken for like 1 hour. When you make a normal chicken stock, it's like 6 to 8. So there's a ton of life left in those bones. So what I usually do is put them in a plastic bag, put them in the freezer, and when I have enough, I make a proper stock. That's how we extend this recipe so it goes out even months down the road. Here's what we're gonna do now. Pull that chicken just a little bit more using your hands. You wanna do it in bite-sized pieces. Now, if you want, you can absolutely just spread the chicken all over the cutting board, use a knife and chop it up to your liking. Me, I like that sort of barbecue effect, so I'm gonna pull it with my hands in gloves. Now, because I've made so much, I'm actually gonna freeze about a third of it and put it into a soup or maybe some barbecue, whatever I wanna do. Throw it in a bag, let it chill, freeze it, boom, you're good to go. Take the remaining chicken back over to the stock with the vegetables, pour it in there, get every last little morsel of cooked chicken in there, give it a stir. We're just gonna simmer it on low heat. There's a lot of flavor already in there and we're almost done. Head over to a large pot of boiling water. We're gonna hit it with some salt, add in some noodles. I've got some egg noodles. You can use absolutely whatever favorite noodle you have here. Give it a quick strain. Go immediately over to your sink using cold water. We want to chill these immediately. I'll tell you why in just a second. Once they are chilled, drain off any excess water, go over to a plastic baggie and pour all of them in there. Hit it with a just bit of oil, can be olive oil, whatever one you're comfortable with, totally fine. Give it a little mix to make sure the oil completely coats all the noodles and put it in the refrigerator. And let me say this, the reason I do this is because when you cook noodles into the soup, I mean, before long, you've got just mushy chicken noodle oatmeal. It's like gruel. It's not appetizing. But when you take a little bit or what you need into a bowl and then put some of that stock and the vegetables and the chicken in there, it will feel fresh and delicious every single time. You won't feel that mushy flavor in your mouth. It's gross. And it's all about these little simple techniques, like understanding how and when to do this when making any soup, any noodle that goes into a soup, even rice, so that it tastes good every single time. You start putting these techniques into all of your cooking, it's gonna be the best ever. Blow away any restaurant, any store. You can do this. Now, head over to where our soup is. We are gonna finish it up with some finely chopped parsley. You could add some thyme or some other herbs in there if you'd like as well. Hit it with some sea salt and some fresh cracked black pepper. We're going to give it a stir, incorporate all of those delicious flavors. You guys cannot wait to eat this. I'm dying. Let's go ahead and remove it from the cooktop. Head back over to where you are going to serve it up, and it's time to plate up in slow-mo. I'm gonna add in the cooked, cooled noodles first. You can add it second, totally up to you, at your discretion, of course. Put as much as you'd like in there, and then of course, load it up with chicken noodle soup, or just chicken soup because the noodles are already in there. Look at all those big chunky vegetables, absolutely amazing. And if you want, finish it off with a little garnish of fresh chopped parsley. Absolutely amazing, so delicious, and check out this beauty. Now that is how you make a delicious homemade chicken noodle soup. We've got a ton to freeze. We can extend it even further with the chicken bones later when I make a stock. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and definitely check out this video because it is so good. I'll see you on there.